Mic check, mic check, mic check. What's up, everybody? We should be streaming all good. Welcome to the stream. I'm the American Anchor Baby. About to get going here in a sec. Pleasure to have you here on a fine Monday. Welcoming all of our viewers here, of course. Punchy.tv. Let me see. My mic's all funny. Let me see. Mic check, mic check. All right. Happy Monday. Thanks to everybody who joined us over the week on Friday. That was fun. We're just turning on our servers. Punchy.tv/Anchor Baby. Of course. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. Of course. Nice. Okay. Back at it again. Welcome. Thank you, everybody. Let's see here. We're going to have the lines open, taking calls, doing topics, interesting things. EBT Day, it didn't happen? What a mess, but no mess, actually. We had a little fun over the weekend on Halloween, doing some silly stuff. Someone trolled us with that horse game. What? Alrighty. And I'll be in the Discord as well. If you see me in the chat, if you see me in the voice channel, come on in, say hello. Link is in the description. Numbers on the screen. That's 844-900-2229 if you want to call in.
You are connected as the host. Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio.
Let's see here. Did you hear that? Am I getting any audio here? Connect to show.
You are connected as the host.
It looks like you guys
Welcome,
can hear that, but
host.
I can't.
You are now.
Hold on. Gotta turn the headset on. Duh. Doy.
You are connected as the host. Welcome, host.
That's 844-900-2229. Amazing. So thanks again, everybody, tuning in on a fine Monday. We're going to take it easy here to get into the show. Pleasure to have you here. Happy Monday.
Isn't Nicki Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You're the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby. This is my show. This is my stream. Thanks for tuning in here on this fine Monday. I see calls coming in already, and I appreciate that. That's 844-900-2229. We're going to get to everybody and all that. Nice to see y'all here on this fine Monday. Enjoying the classic intro. And apologies, I'm a little distracted by my own little mic. Let me just reset that. Okay, there we go. Am I getting, you're saying robot voice? Are you getting a robotic voice? Let me know, chat, if I'm coming in clear. But thanks again, everybody. Albert, Jermaine, Thor, Linus, Spirit, everybody in the chat. We're taking it easy on this fine Monday one more time. And I feel like I want to show some love to the calls right away. We want to get to those. 844-900-2229. But, you know, I'm looking at the Discord. You guys were talking. We're wondering. Some of you are a little disappointed. Some of you guys are a little disappointed in the comments. Like, oh, there was no EBT day. No riots. There was no mess. And I'm like, I told you. See, I told you guys were sick. You guys want to see violence. Okay. Not me. You guys. You guys want to see the submarine implode. You're like, Nick, stop talking. Show us violence. Show us a big clip. Something crashing. The blacks going crazy. And I was trying to tell you guys, I was sensing no key. I was sensing no power level. Because, look, it peaked in George Floyd. See, if you weren't paying attention at that time, maybe you wouldn't know. What, 2020, right? The energies, the mishtuka and the ether. With that whole, whatever that was, to summarize. Black Lives Matter. Rioting in the streets. The summer of love. Okay, I've been sensing those different keys, and their power levels peaked really at George Floyd. It's never been like that. It's never gotten to that height. And I sensed nothing. So I was saying there's not going to be any riots. And then there was some news, right? Looks like they're going to try their best. They're going to try and fund them and feed them. See, Daddy's too tough. Decides to do it a little different, maybe. See, he's looking out for you. Maybe he was forced to, the judge. Look, we'll get into some of that. But I appreciate all the folks showing decorum in these times of chaos. Out there is the end of America, right? Society, civilization. And you're in here acting the same way, not clicking the like button. Don't be rude. Click the like button. Show some decorum. Thank you very much. Leave a comment. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. Say hello here in the chat. If you're here, we see you. Well, you don't say hi no more? But why, Nick? Why? There was no EBT day. No riots. Walmart had to... They had to... deny rumors. Apparently. Hold on. Let me turn off my headset here. I think I can keep going while I do that. While I reset this headset. It's snapping and crackling. Let's see here. Walmart forced to deny rumors. It will close stores as people threaten to loot amid SNAP benefits lapse. See, that was the talk before. They weren't going to close. Remember, that kind of came up. They weren't going to close. They weren't increasing security. These claims are false. We will continue to be open for business. Okay. What is this? Hold on. Hold up. Funny audio there. Sorry. So, callers, thanks. We'll get to you. You can hear me right now as you're in the waiting room. Appreciate that. But there was no EBT day. Walmart didn't close. They're not really rioting. They're subdued, to the food bank? I was out there with Derek. Filming some of the, what was it? Was it some of the ice stuff? Not ice. Something maybe recent. Yeah, it was ice or something. We were out there filming some stuff. With the Latinos. The blacks were like, no. Some were just watching. They're like, we don't want to get involved with that. F all that. Some were a little bit more like, wait, they don't care about us. Like, we're just about us. Like, there was just no riot energy. That's all I'm saying. Plenty of this, though.
Bank before?
No, we never have.
There was this going around.
This is your first time ever been to the food bank before?
No, we never have.
This is your first time here.
Correct.
Are you scared?
Whoa.
This is Los Angeles at a food bank, okay? NBC News is doing a little report outside of a food bank. These are the people that are afraid. Their snap is lapsing. November's here. Trump is saying, hang in there. And they're going to work it out, see if they can fund it, but it's going to take time. It's going to be delayed.
Highly afraid because, I mean...
No, we never have.
This is your first time here.
And so they're at food banks trying to feed themselves and their family.
Correct.
Are you scared?
Well, highly afraid because, I mean, we didn't ask for these kids to come, and what are we going to do? Deny them? We have them. We have to take care of them. We have to find a way, and it's hard right now with everything that's going on.
What?
People are even afraid to come out of their houses to work.
She said that on camera. She said that on 4K.
It's really bad.
We caught that in 4K. NBC News put it up on TikTok. I was trying to find the whole report because I'm like, wait, tell me more, Jocelyn Leal. They put her whole name. Tell me more about your kids.
And especially with everything going on with the president saying that we have to hang in there. How are we going to hang in there with the kids?
Right on, Mr. President. Always with the energy, right? Come on, with the mishtuk. Come on.
Like, there's no
power. Powerful young Jocelyn Leal. Come on. You got legs, you got arms.
Thanksgiving coming up.
Especially imagine the people. It's not fair for anybody.
What is your message right now to the federal government?
I mean, what can we say? It's unfair.
Ever been?
If she's crying, she's lying. And that is just so true. If she's crying, she's lying. That came up in church, right? It's a difficult sometimes for people. It was funny hearing people say like it's the most honest thing for them. I think women think it's real honest because in the moment of crying, sometimes they say what they've wanted to say. But that's just anger. You know, when you're angry, you say what you've been holding back, but it's warped. It's what you've been thinking. It's what you've been thinking and ruminating on. And then you make the lie, you put it in the world, and you cause more ripples in your destiny for the devil to mess with. And it is ego. It is all ego. It's trying to get sympathy. Okay. I can't do like 99%. It's trying to get maybe 100. Maybe 100. Maybe 100%.
Ever been to the food?
But you catch that, right? She's like, we didn't want these kids. You guys missed that?
What are we going to do? Deny? Highly afraid because, I mean, we didn't ask for these kids to come, and what are we going to do? Deny them? We have them. We have to take care of them.
We didn't ask for these kids, and now we have them. Wah! It's crying in the background. Wah! We didn't ask for these kids, and now we have to take care of them, right? No, the government's taking care of them. We're like the taxpayers taking care of them. I guess they say they work because I was trying to find more. I was like, Jocelyn, tell us more about your food assistance journey. Jocelyn Leal. And I don't know why I'm saying her name like that. But she's saying, right, I don't want these kids. It's not, besides the taxpayer, it's like, she's saying, how are we going to feed them? How are we going to continue? How can we go on? And she's at a food bank, right? She's already found a solution. Still on someone else's, a charity. I don't know how food banks exactly work. It's taxpayers. I know churches do it. Might be charity, might be a mixture. And so there she is already with a solution. There's nobody going hungry in America. Look how fat she is. Fat and the husband. And the husband apparently works.
The food bank in
But
Los
it's
Angeles.
just business is slow.
As you can see the long line of people here right now that are lining up to get food.
So are you working or is business slow? I'll let you
This
hear.
is what we've seen across LA and across the country as the government shutdown has put SNAP benefits in jeopardy for 42 million Americans. On Friday, a federal judge ordered the Trump administration to distribute payments as soon as possible. President Trump said that he's going to ask the court how the government can legally fund that program during the shutdown. He says that if it's legally possible, he will give the funding, but even so,
Then we'll get
payments
to
will
calls.
be delayed.
Multiple people have told us over the past few days that this is their first time coming to a food bank. We went to one food bank here in LA that told us they are seeing record numbers of people showing up.
We're shattering records that you don't wanna shatter. We had 803 families all alone last week, and we're gonna pass that.
See, it's all these. So
I also met the layoff.
look, the point is they got this other solution, but also why are there so many people on food assistance?
Family, and they have 5 children under the age of 13, including 2 10-month-old twins.
This is them. Look, big bodies, big family. This is the big house, big comfy couch. Da na 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 na, da na 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 na. Or what's that other one? What am I thinking of? The big blue house. Da na 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 na. Look, it's Bear. It's Bear in the big blue house. Dude, this theme actually is crazy.
Welcome to the blue house.
Welcome to the big house.
They get
Ba, 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 ba.
$750 a month in SNAP or CalFresh benefits. And without that, they are very scared about how they are going to make ends meet.
Have you ever been to the food bank before?
Welcome to the big house.
No, we never have.
Look at the little boy. Look at the little boy. Little fat legs over here. Look at this is their son, or something. Look, they're touching up on him like a son.
The
What is
husband
this?
says that he
Little Chanchito.
works as a contractor,
Chanchito.
but
I am hungry.
work has been slow. He
What?
attributes that to inflation. And the mom, Jocelyn, says that she hasn't
Welcome
been able
to
to go
the big
back
house.
to work.
Got the cheesy taquitos.
Tractor, but work has
Cheesy
been slow.
potatoes. We gonna be eating cheese potatoes. You're not gonna stop us.
I mean,
I'm gonna
her
cry and
children.
get my cheesy potatoes. Look, I know we're just having fun here. Like, some of you are like, whoa, what? Some people need help though, right, Nick? Like, that's not everybody like this. Some people are like, they need it, right? And they're not all these people. And so I know that Trump was telling them to hang in there. I thought that was cool. The judge's orders came down from this Obama. Let me just go through this quickly and give you my take and get to calls. Obama era judge. It's important to note that actually. It's kind of ancient lore for me. But this Indira Talwani, some Pakistani, some brown judge, Indira Talwani, came down with some order. Light skin brown. Came down with some order saying, hey, you know, you gotta fund this. Let me just get that. Let me just quickly pick that up here. Indira. She's an Obama era lady, and she's saying, essentially, she has been involved with Trump before, actually. You see, Trump tried to revoke this temporary status for Cuban, Haitians, Nicaraguans, Venezuelans. And it was thanks to a program, a Biden-era program called CHNV, that basically brought in, it was a humanitarian parole program that allowed nationals from those countries who had U.S. sponsors, right, chain migration families, and passed so-called vetting. They pass vetting. We swear it's vetted to enter the U.S. And so Trump got rid of that. Like, there's just no reason for that. Even if you could say, look, they're vetted, though. It's all crap. There's no reason for this is what this is large-scale migration codified into law, like saying, hey, we want to buy. It's like for the woke people, for the left, if we want to make this palatable. It's like the slave. It's like the slave auctions, folks. They're just like bringing in Nicaraguans, just picking and choosing, saying "F you" to the Americans here. So Trump's like, nah. Indira's like, you can't do that. You're already here. It's not a human. It's anti-humanitarian because now how are you going to send them back? They're under duress. And the courts were like, liberal. You got some liberal activist judge that goes up, and they're like, okay, we gotta now challenge this legally. That's pretty much ongoing. From last I saw. And Talwani is back at it again with this in the SNAP stuff. And Trump is saying, look, he'll fund it. We'll figure it out. I'm not. If you're hungry, we're gonna feed you. You don't go hungry in America. Some might not like that. Maybe we need more tough love. But hey, maybe Daddy has decided. Hey, some people call him that. Some people do. You've heard that, okay? I call him Mr. Trump. I call him Trump. But maybe he's decided. Hey, so be it. This is how it's gonna be, okay? And look, let me get back to what I was saying. I want to get to my calls to wrap this up. It's like to the people saying, Nick, but not everybody's like this lady here, right? They're not all like, oh my gosh, fat and able-bodied barely due to the SNAP and all that. Look, they're eating themselves into inability. How is this logical? How are they going to work and feed themselves? This doesn't make sense, folks. They're eating themselves into inability. So this goes SNAP, EBT, this was all created in like the 60s. It goes back to actually like the 30s. Food assistance, okay? Lyndon B. Johnson comes around and he comes up with this thing called the War on Poverty. It's not even that long ago. But you follow the food assistance numbers over the years, over the decades. And tell me how his War on Poverty went. 1970s, population in America, 203 million. Around 7 million people were on SNAP. 1980s, you get to a population of 226 million, and you get to 10.6 million people on SNAP. 1990s, 248 million. Now you're getting to 26.8 million people on SNAP. 2000s, 281 million people in America, 25 million on SNAP. 308 million in the 2010s in population. SNAP reaches an average 43, and actually we've gone down a little bit. Interestingly enough, I hear the peak was I think a year ago or something like that. But we're averaging 40 in the 40 millions. Tell me about the War on Poverty. Tell me about Lyndon B. Johnson saying that we need to just because the thinking was like, let's just lift people up. We got the money. We're so wealthy. We got the money. You can look at his speeches and stuff, kind of gather for yourself. I wasn't there. I'm not like an expert on this, okay? American historian, but I'm going to tell you how I see it. You can see the speeches. He's saying they're thinking, look at all, we have so much wealth. We just have so much. Now let's tackle poverty. Like there was poverty. Poverty was just a thing in America, early America, later on, all the way up to the 60s, 30 to 60s. And they're saying, we're going to defeat poverty, folks. We're going to lift people up. And they had a multifaceted approach. Okay, they need to have better education. They need to have better food. They need to have better number of things. Tell me, are the people smarter, better, more healthier?
And what are we going to do?
They're
with them?
not.
And we have them. We have to take care of them.
And now we have video. Now they film themselves. Now we have the social media. We have like we see the fruits. I think we see the fruits, folks. And maybe at one point the thinking was, I wasn't there and I really don't know. Maybe there's, I don't know, it's like a socialist mindset that people have adopted. And I'm wondering, is this socialism? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Can a wealthy country, a government, can a state, a government say, you know what, poverty or low wealth or whatever, low education, etc., is a matter of national interest, security, etc.? I can understand that. Was Lyndon that? I don't know. But the people are retarded, so it didn't work. So that's kind of my thinking about all that. EBT, War on Poverty. Look, it's crazy. This is crazy. 30 years. I've been on EBT, food banks, 30 years. This lady's proud.
The first thing I did was grab my phone and call, and when I heard $0, my chest went into my throat.
Maggie Aragon has been a SNAP recipient for more than 3 decades. Even with these benefits, she says she also relies on food banks to get enough food.
I have depended on those benefits since the 1990s, and it's detrimental to my life if I don't get them.
There are more
She
than
seems like
460,000 New Mexicans using SNAP benefits. Tonight, some of them telling us they don't have those right now. Friday, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham announced $30 million in state funds would be used to supply SNAP users starting November 1st.
We're going to choose feeding families over politics.
How do you go? Like, she wasn't always like that, right? 30 years ago. Come on. Maggie. 30 years ago, Maggie. 30 years is a while. Maggie, what were we doing 30 years ago, Maggie?
And when I heard...
Maggie wasn't always like this. Oh, my God, Maggie. Look at Maggie. She's so poor. She needs help. Maggie's been 30 years. Since the 1990s. What happened? Life goes fast, huh? But look. What was I going to say about that? SNAP recipient 3 decades. I forget about Maggie, but we wish her well. We wish Maggie well.
$0, my chest went into my throat.
Maggie Aragon has been a SNAP recipient for
I was thinking, just a little thing. I've heard this before, but it's pertinent, like minimum wage. The people love saying about. People were calling my show recently about that. And some of them old. And they're like, Nick, you gotta have minimum wage, though. These people are evil who don't want minimum wage. You don't care about Maggie. I bet you Maggie could find some less than so-called minimum wage job to feed herself. Okay? Maggie doesn't need much. I don't know if maybe she didn't get married or she was divorced. It's kind of a mess now with all that. Maggie doesn't need much. She can be useful. She can move. She can walk. She can speak. She can think. It's not all the chat jippities, right? It's not all chat jippity. But anyways, I want to get to Tejas. I want to get to Texas, please. I appreciate the patience. Who do we have on? Hold on there. Who do we have on the air from Texas? Appreciate your call.
Been a while, Nick.
How you doing, sir?
How you doing?
Is this John?
No.
Okay. You sounded like my friend John. Who am I speaking with?
Yeah. This is Chase.
What's up, sir? That's right.
Chase
How you been?
Chase from Texas.
That's right.
I don't know, man. Everything kind of sucks, man.
Well, hold on. Let me hear you correct. I want to hear you, man. Let me push down this mix here in the volume.
Well,
a pleasure to have you here, Chase. Haven't heard from you in a bit.
Yeah, well, my dogs are made of clay. My living room's made of clay.
You said what?
Phone.
You said your dogs are made of clay? I have to interrupt you because I'm confused already.
Yes. Yes.
Is that an expression?
No, they're made of clay. Everything. The phone, the girl, everything made of clay. Hey, you want to hear about a fight I got into?
Is that like an expression? Is that like it's got a deeper meaning type thing?
No.
That your girl, it's all made of clay? It's all like...
She's made of clay. She won't answer. She's made of clay. She won't answer, man.
Well, Chase...
That sucks,
Well, when your girl's made of clay, your phone's made of clay, I guess maybe that's your problem. Maybe that's your first step.
Cold,
I'm autistic.
Nick. That's
only literal. I've taken that. Especially when you told me to take it literally. You're not telling me that it's a metaphor.
Sure. But I mean, it's okay.
That's okay. That's right. Let's move on.
I'm all right. I'm okay with it. Like I saw Jesus, and I saw the eye of the pyramid, and then I died, and then I was made of clay, and I said, "This is all right. I can deal with this. So
I'm trying to
want to come feed my dog.
You're talking crazy, Chase. What a difference from the last
call.
call.
My dogs are made of clay, dude. My dogs
What
are
happened
made of clay,
since the last call to now? What happened to you, Chase? Are you trolling me, or did you lose your mind?
I died.
In
I
what
died.
way?
Simple. Dave Clay. Yeah, Clay. Everything.
You're not
TV.
making sense, sir. Are you of sober
Ouch.
mind?
Well, I had been doing some drugs, but that's beside the point. I'm made of clay. So it
Are
doesn't
you high
matter.
right now?
No. Yes.
Oh, you're high right now. We can't make sense of this. There's no sense in this, sir. If you hear anything
No,
through the
it's not.
ether, none don't make sense of any of this. None of this is real.
I think I saw y'all. Though. In the
Call
chat.
me again
I
when
saw
you're
y'all.
sober.
I will. Thank you.
But sir, it's all, call me again when you're sober. Yeah, for real. Trust me. Or not, whatever. There's no making sense to that chaos, folks. That's like primo. That's like primo. That's like primo. That's like primo real estate to get you guys. Cause I'm like what? I'm like level 30. You guys are gonna get one-shotted. You guys are gonna be like, haha, funny high guy. Look, what's he got to say now? And you're gonna get one-shotted. You're gonna get one-shotted by some, insane scrawling. You're gonna be like, whoa, so much meaning. And then you're gonna be like, poof, one-shotted. That's it. You're just be like, rip. You should have let him cook, says Francisco. There's no making sense of that chaos. It's only setting yourself up for negativity. Right, trying to add meaning to the non-sober mind. So I'm here to protect you. I should have just no. Anyways, he said his life wasn't going well. We should have stuck to that. But actually, I'm glad I know the truth. I mean, again, we can't make sense. So we're moving on. Thank you. 844-900-2229. I didn't ask for these kids. Let me delete all this and move some things around. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. I heard you guys talking about Nicki Minaj. So we're just Barbs now? Are we just Barbs now? I believe that is a Nicki Minaj fan. It's that easy? Is it that easy, chat? Is that easy, folks? Just got to say a little bit of this and that. You're like, all right, we're fans. We're Barbs. Nicki Minaj is in. Some of you guys were like, chill. Oh, you can't just be the right wing. It's like, you get some rapper and they say whatever. They say one little thing, pro-Trump, and you're like ready to make them president. You're ready to make them governor. It's like Nicki Minaj for head of what? The State Department. I don't know. Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I'm hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. But that is the least of it. When Christians or any group is slaughtered like is happening in Nigeria, 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide. I'm not sure what that means. Like, slaughtered. So 3,100 slaughtered in Nigeria and 4,476 Christians worldwide. So is that like the vast majority is in Nigeria? What's going on in Nigeria? Something must be done. I'm asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole in the House Appropriations Committee, to immediately look into this matter and report back to me. The United States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. We stand ready, willing, and able to save our great Christian population around the world. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. Pretty cool. I mean, Nigeria. I'm wondering, a part of me is like, Nigeria, is there anything interesting? Any American interests in there? Call me the new deep state. I'm like, it's just American interests. Do they have any minerals? What do they got? Do they got stuff we need? Because we should take it. You know, with all cooperation will be appropriately compensated. Right? For our cherished Christians. Boala said that Nigeria's government saw Trump's threats as a negotiating tactic, added that Nigeria's government would welcome increased intelligence sharing from the United States. Wow. Washington Post. I don't know who Boala is. Oh, Daniel Boala, advisor to Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And they dispute this. They're like, Christians aren't being specifically targeted. Hey, Mr. Trump says differently. So, what? You want to come to the negotiating table? Nigeria is a diverse, multi-ethnic country. Uh-oh. That may be part of your problem. Of more than 230 million with a population that is roughly split between Muslims and Christians. Oh. Proximity. They don't like each other. Religions. Because they're like, are they all Nigerian? Multi-ethnic. They're not even all, they're all different ethnicities. They're different ethnicities. I don't know how different, but different enough, folks. What a mess, right? So Nicki Minaj is a barb, is MAGA approved instantly. Right? Some don't like the degenerate music, maybe. They don't think that's very conservative or Christian. And they, you know. They say, reading this made me feel a deep sense of gratitude. We live in a country where we can freely worship God. No group should ever be persecuted for practicing their religion. Right on. We don't have to share the same beliefs in order to respect each other. Numerous countries all around the world are being affected by this horror. It's dangerous to pretend we don't notice. Thank you to the president and his team for taking this seriously. God bless every persecuted Christian. Let's remember to lift them up in prayer. Barbs, it's a Christian thing. She's a great Christian, one of the greatest. In fact, one of the best to ever do it. One of the greatest Christians to ever do it. Nicki Minaj. I don't judge her. I don't judge her, folks. I don't judge her. You know what was something I really liked about the Tucker Carlson Nick Fuentes interview? Marjorie Taylor Greene came up. And actually they went through a number of like events and how Nick became Nick. And him being shut out, really, and whatever. And they got into some of his public disputes with some people that Tucker considered the good guys. Okay? And it's funny because at this moment, they both were calling each other feds. They're like, I thought you were a fed. No, I thought you were a fed. And the reason, Tucker's reasoning was, look, you have to be a fed if you go around attacking people that are, not everybody's perfect in Tucker's mind. He's saying not everybody's perfect in this deep state world. Not everybody's really pro-Trump. Not everybody's really America first. They got ulterior motives, and the swamp monsters are around. But some people are trying, and they're trying their best, and they're doing some good. He considers people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. And if you may be somewhat familiar with her. She's a very, kicked it off being a very pro-Trump and creating a pro-Trump coalition, I gather, right? Gates and others in the American Congress. And there's been some ups and downs there and some story there, I'm sure. But at one point, to finish that thought, Tucker was just saying that's why he thought he was a Fed, because he's attacking these people he thinks are at least somewhat good. And he related it to it being similar to how really he called out other so-called really radical names. I don't really know anything about David Dukes or people. I really don't. But he would say that he considered it to be like a federal, like a Fed move people like David Duke to attach themselves to it, like Tucker. He always thought that was some sort of tactic to make Tucker look worse. The more moderate voices that are gathering much bigger audiences that are able to speak to the larger masses, but get it. That's what I gathered. That's what he was saying. And he's saying this to him, saying, that's why I thought you were a Fed. And so he brings up, Nick brings up his relationship with Marjorie Taylor Greene and how she spoke at AFPAC, at one of his conventions. I was at that one, and I saw Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Jesse spoke there, and it was, and so did Sheriff Joe Arpaio and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and so where was I? Look, the reason I'm bringing this up, because here's the part I really liked about that interview, is when Tucker was saying, well, like, what's the beef? Like, do you want to just keep beef going? Like, do you have just like a chip on your shoulder? I'm kind of summarizing and paraphrasing. You just have like a chip on your shoulder. You just want to fight with these people. Nick's like, no, now that everybody agrees with me, I'm willing to forgive and forget, and we're cool and all that. Like, we could be like, it's no big deal. I really thought it came off as a person with no ill intent, I gotta say. It's not personal. And so I'm thinking about Nicki Minaj a bit. I know people are quite like, yo, maybe it's a bit of a stretch. Like, Nicki Minaj is Marjorie Taylor Greene. We're really in the same tent. If we're cool, we could be cool in the same tent here in the same coalition. Nicki Minaj, we could be Barbs. Like, I don't know if it's like that much of a stretch, but concerning the spirit of things, you can kind of see the spirit sometimes in people. It's so quick to be like, oh yeah, Nicki Minaj, but your stupid songs about shaking your butt. It's like, yeah, but like if you were like some sort of Republican operative in some sort of like, position of influence, so to speak, and you could bring Nicki Minaj in and speak with Trump, like, I don't know, I think it'd be great. It'd be funny. People get things wrong and kind of figure things out as they go through life, right? Sometimes way later, maybe. Maybe she's a Christian. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I'm just rambling about this, right? Nicki Minaj and Fuentes. Nick. But where was I? Man, I saw them attacking. I saw him getting crazy attacked. I heard it come up on the Hake Report. I saw him getting attacked crazy by Ted Cruz. Now, I gotta say, I heard about all the attacks against Fuentes and him being censored and canceled or whatever. I've heard him be disavowed by like Marjorie and stuff like that. I kind of remember that. I don't know if I've ever seen this. I don't know if I've ever seen stuff like this. Ted Cruz, I haven't been following him. He's still representing the state of Texas, right? Over the years, I don't have the toughest view of him. I think he's really that tough of a guy. My real intro to him is what? Trump. Him being against Trump, and he gets destroyed there. What is this? Who cares? Ted Cruz is like going hard on him. He's like, now where does this exchange even start? Wait. Oh yeah, so
national security decision the president.
So Fuentes shares something about Ted Cruz. So wait, we've clicked into the exchange, and it starts off with Fuentes here sharing a clip of Ted Cruz. Now we're not 30 seconds. Might as well watch it.
And then the single most important national security decision the president has made was the decision to launch the bombing raid on the Iran nuclear facilities. I could tell you I was on the phone with the president every single week urging him to do that, and I will tell you there are other voices within the administration
do it, bomb
without.
President Trump, I'm begging you.
To.
I'm adding to it. I'm coloring it. Has he got a hat on? Oh, does he have a hat on? Oh wait, no, that's just the zero. That's the zero of the 40th Trump's bombing. So check it out. That's what Fuentes shared. And he's saying, look, he's begging for this. Fuentes doesn't agree with that. He thinks it's war with Iran. It's just wrong. It's not America first. I think Trump. I'm with Trump, right? But I like the back and forth. I like this. Fuentes, the Republican establishment. We're getting like a nice view of things. Are you an individual enough to be a true voter? But anyways, he responds, Trump's bombing the Ayatollah's nuclear facilities made the little Nazi mad. I just never seen this. I don't know if I've seen this. Republican, what is he? Representative? He's like, look at this little Nazi. I saw that first. I'm like, well, am I being a little obtuse here? I mean, this guy called this other American Nazi. Am I being obtuse? Am I feeling like, is that a really big deal? Maybe it's not a big deal, but I'm thinking to myself, shouldn't you have to maybe, I want grounds, and I don't even feel the need to defend Fuentes here, but as an individual, right, as an American, as a fellow American, no? What are we? What is this, America or not? I'm like, on what grounds? He clarifies. He's like, just to be clear, I called him a little Nazi, not as an empty epithet, but rather, because I'm thinking, right, is this just emotional? Yeah, that's wrong in any man. These are the men that are leading the country, representing people. They should know if they're kind of being emotional over nothing. So he says it's not an empty epithet, but rather an accurate description of what he says and believes. Here are the receipts. And he shares this video. And I think I even heard this come up on the Hake Report. And it's about 1:40. I don't even think I'm going to play it, but he's basically talking about, it's literally, it starts off.
Documentary. I came home. I told my parents, I'm like, Mom, Dad, the Holocaust didn't happen. And they were like, we did not raise you this way. I remember going.
That's how it starts, right? So already it's kind of out of context, but he goes on to describe how he got red-pilled or whatever about the Holocaust and Hitler, and he came home and he's having conversations with his family and they're not having it. They're like, not cool with it. And they're like, you're tripping. We didn't raise you like this. And Nick is like, it's pretty funny. I'm remembering watching this, and he's funny. And he's like, what do you say? He's like, he's just like shocked that they're not cool with it, that they're not being reasonable. And I'm like, how can anybody watch this and think that he's even really being that serious about that? Like, maybe I think he's being quite candid here. And I didn't want he does a whole show. We're just seeing this little clip. It really just seems to me, and if you see it a different way, that's fair, but I think you have to be kind of a little dishonest, because how is it any clearer than just like a guy who saw some stuff and it sounded like he believed it, and now he's feeling kind of dumb. Now he's feeling kind of silly about it. I can't believe I went to my parents. He finishes off saying yeah, don't ever go to your parents and try and red pill them about all this stuff. That's just wrong energy. It's cringe. You're not that smart. You don't know what you think you know. If you take that any other way, how can you be that crazy? I thought that was crazy, Ted Cruz. But anyways, not that deep. Little Nazi. Not that deep, whatever. 'Cause I think I even heard the caller on a Hake Report say, he's just saying that he didn't even believe in the Holocaust, but it's not even clear that. It sounds like you may have matured from that and has a more sophisticated view of even that. Maybe it's not what you like, but hey, you'll have to ask him about it, right? 844-900-2229. We got calls coming in. I want to get to all of you. Where were we? Just going down my list here on this fine, chill Monday. That's Nicki Minaj, Nicki and the Barbs and all that. Let's see here. That's that and that. I want to get to my calls and look by super chats and all that. Let's not dilly-dally too much. We're filling up here. 844-900-2229. We got more topics, calls, and all that.
Hello, I'm the small mouse. Things to do.
So that's 844-900-2229. We're going to welcome this call from, let's see who's been holding the longest.
to the blue house. Hello, I'm the small mouse. Things to do. Fun for you. Howdy from the big bear.
We're gonna go to Canada.
Want some fun? Here's where. Just for you. All is new. In the House of Blue.
In the House of Blue, we got Canada on the air. Who do we got from Canada? What's your name? And hold on, where are you calling from? Go ahead.
What's up, Nick?
Hey, Jermaine, Canada in the GTA. Shout out. Is that fair to say? Am I doxing?
Shout out. No, I'm in Ottawa. But
Oh, okay, never mind. I don't know why I thought you were in the GTA. True say.
Nice.
Right on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Since you were talking about debate with Nick here and Tucker Carlson, if I remember correctly, I think they brought up a point saying, if I remember correctly, they brought up a point talking about, Trump should just go in and get these people out of government, that especially the illegals that are somewhat in government and that are opposing the right opposition. Something like that, if I remember correctly. Because I watched this maybe a week ago or something like that.
Let me quickly clarify. Are you talking about like the increasing fight between the federal government and some of these states that are trying to protect illegals?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
They were saying they should just go in there and put them in jail and take them out, because when the left take over, they're gonna have no mercy on them. Pretty much what he was saying.
That was such an interesting part of the conversation, no? I don't know if I've even thought about some of that stuff, but if I may summarize for the viewers a little bit, I mean, the topic was this increasing battle between these states, the Democrat states, the sanctuary states. They want to, it's not just protesters in the streets. We got mayors and governors backing these mayors, etc., in moves that basically stand in direct opposition to federal law enforcement, already established law and stuff like that. They are challenged. They have these legal challenges, so called, but it's a matter of like these, in my opinion, these liberal activist judges, and so it's a bit of a mess. So in that, Tucker and Nick were talking about the how to deal with that. And in their estimation, they had some, I think they both agreed on this thinking, is that you have to be basically, what's the word? I guess just total. You just have to be like total and tough, in that you can't let people think they can even somewhat fight this. They can't even think that they can protest this and say, you can't deport people and bring ICE and all that. You have to go in, arrest these mayors or whatever for whatever sedition or insurrection, use the Insurrection Act, whatever you got to do, and come down. And that sounds like super tough and evil, but no, it's like I think it makes sense. It's like almost the right thing to do to maintain order. I mean, these people are going against, now they're trying to challenge the ICE. You understand this? This is not just protesting in the streets. And I thought that was interesting. Coming in tough like that. I don't know if he'd do it. I feel like he might if he had to, personally, the kind of guy Trump is. But that's kind of the summary for the folks. Thoughts on that?
Yeah. I was thinking about that. I'm like, if he had to, he will do it, but he has call it almost 3 more years to go. I mean, if he does that, I think the people on the left, they'll think he has hatred, and they will judge him in a kind of way where they end up hating him even more. And I think if they end up getting in power, it's gonna be like, even though Trump is doing it out of love and care, right? The others, they're gonna take it the wrong way and go in there and do it the opposite way, out of just malice and hate. So I could see it at the end if he does it that way, which I'm not against it. But the other side, when they get in power, they're gonna retaliate in a certain way when it comes to how, if he does it, how they were saying in that interview.
So true.
That'll be interesting. Yeah.
The reason I like what you're saying is because you remind me of another reason why I'm really appreciative that Trump is in the position he's in for the time that we're in. You know, some of people, like you're watching Tucker and Nick, make a lot of sense about, hey, you got to go in and like be tough, be total, be brutal, and now don't let people think they can insurrect on the president. And you're like watching that, you're like, that makes sense. But remember how Trump is. Consider that Trump's personality could maybe even rub people like Nick and Tucker the wrong way. Like, hey, you should be tough, like we're saying, and he wants to hold off a bit, thinking about what maybe a little bit what you're saying. But that's why I like him, and that's why I like him in the position he's in right now. He tempers even that. He tempers those people too. He seems to be tempering to those people. And I don't want to say that they're too radical or too. I really don't think it's like an unreasonable position, but it's about time and place. And I'm just glad Trump's got the reins, so if I may repeat once more, right? Because it's like maybe it's not the time. Maybe he'll hold enough till the moment you have to, and I'm glad he's the one to do it. And some are a little maybe too quick on that, and Trump maybe rubs them wrong, but I'm glad for it. And it's all a nice big conversation of men, right?
Yeah, I thought it was a fabulous conversation they had. I didn't fully finish that, but I heard the amount of backlash they're getting, especially from the right, especially when Nick brought up women and how society caters to them. So that was just funny. But I wanted to call, man. Friday's stream was amazing.
You like that? Hey, right on.
Oh yeah. That Polish guy needs to call in. That was interesting.
I should send him the show. Maybe he'll become a viewer.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, that was fun, and it's silly hijinks, but I know that the inner cult loves it, and we have fun doing it. I mean, I forgot you guys are there sometimes, just interacting with these people, and I also really like getting really varied people, like from different countries and stuff. That's the part I like find fascinating.
Yeah.
Hey, that was fun on Friday Halloween.
But that's kind of crazy. I didn't know they have like online games like that, or whatever you want to call it, a chill room.
Yeah.
You went in there and like, oh, this one is a drug addict.
I'm being silly, right? Because sometimes you gotta like, there's almost like an extra layer in between people because you have like anonymity in this virtual character. It's not unlike interacting with people in this normal world, but it is also very unlike it. It's so sometimes you just gotta break through, and it just has a different kind of energy to it. Or I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm like, hey, you're a drug addict, but it's total jokes. It's all jokes.
Yeah, it was spot on. That was so funny.
I'm glad you enjoyed that. Right on. Yeah, everybody listening can catch the replay of that stream on my channel. We'll get clips up. I definitely got to clip that up. And because there were some funny moments there. In VR chat, for those wondering. Just in the virtual world there.
Yeah. Before I go, Nick. You probably catch that little debate on Higgs' show earlier with William and I forgot what the other guy name is.
Man, I honestly didn't. I heard some in the background and I got engrossed in my stuff.
They were pretty much talking about if Jesus is God.
Okay, yeah, some of that's coming back.
And
yep.
The Word was God, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among us.
That's coming back, actually. Yep.
And I'm like, that's so interesting. So I was like, Jesus came, showed us how to live within. That's pretty much how his message was for us to, be present with him and live in such a way that we're just present and not be controlled by evil. But when they come to say like Jesus is God, it's kind of interesting because he himself said, I and the Father are one, and he pretty much said to the Pharisees, if you don't believe me or not, at least believe the works that I'm doing is the work of my Father. And they end up calling him God, but he didn't say he was God. So that's just interesting to me. And then I'm thinking
so
like,
fascinating.
so I'm thinking like, listen, if the Word was God and then it came and dwelt among us and became flesh, does that make us all the Word of God when you're present with Jesus, pretty much, and then you're able to see and stay present and be the good, the salt of the earth? That was pretty much my
That's an
my
interesting
question and
comment,
thought
maybe,
right there.
man. And I say maybe because I like that. I like that, like, different, realer thinking about these things. You know, I heard earlier too. I think it's coming back to me a little bit. I think this came up. Someone said something about, or maybe it was JLP's show about praying without ceasing. How Paul even that was talked about, like, I believe back with Jesus, and then way later Paul comes around saying that too. And it's just like so. How do I put this? Just like real, like a. How do I put it? Like practical and not just these scriptures. Like, I don't know how to really put it, but these spiritual things. You know, when they say, "Oh, pray without ceasing," even let me just stay on that. It's not like, let me just sit here and say I pray to God all day, right? Imagine just talking to yourself and praying. I gotta pray without ceasing. Like, it's not that. So you might be right, man. You might be right. That's interesting.
All right, Nick. That was pretty much my little thing there.
Jermaine, Canada, call me again, sir.
Perfect, thank you.
I appreciate it, man. You have a good show.
All right, take care. 844-900-2229. The word made flesh. Does it mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? I never really grew up hearing that Jesus was God. I gotta say, that wasn't like a thing. Maybe it was said in church, but it wasn't like a thing. Hey, remember, Jesus is God. And we believe in the religion where Jesus is God. We're different because Jesus is God and our Messiah is God. Like, maybe I heard it, but I can't say I really did. But everything, like, all the internet Christians I've met, all the, like, post-internet Christianity, post-internet Trump Christianity revival, I hear a bunch of that. And nobody questions. It's like, I love it that somebody's bringing it up, right? Jesse. He's like, where does he say he's God? Sounds like a lot of adding going on here. William, California, how you doing on the air?
Well, speak of the devil, it is William number 7.
How you
going
doing,
on
sir?
there?
Welcome.
I'm all right, man. So hey, my voicemail I left stated that it was being talked about during the Hake show about the 3,100 versus 400 something thousand in that country in Africa, and I'm thinking that they may be referring, if I remember correctly, the total that supposedly died at Twin Towers on 9/11 in 2001, I believe, totaled somewhere around 3,100, and they're comparing that to the Christians that died that one day versus the 400 or 500,000 people. If I remember right, you guys, it was 400 and something thousand Christians being taken out that Trump wants to take seriously.
Oh,
so could it be that they're referring to?
Possibly.
If memory serves.
You might know better than I, but you are attempting to lend some clarity to those numbers that came up in that article, the Washington Post, when I was reading.
Okay, I don't know about the article. I didn't even know what you guys were referring to.
Oh, okay.
But
My bad.
since you mentioned it a second time,
yes,
'cause I remember them talking about it in the Hake show, and then I thought a very cordial. I don't even think me and Anthony had a debate. We just had a discussion, and I thought it went quite well. But yeah, so that's what I think they may be referring to. And here's a funny thing. I was, I can walk to work, and so I've been in the place I've been for 5 years, and I know my neighborhood pretty good. And yesterday, I saw a huge, big and I'm just going by observation, so I'm not trying to be racist, but this guy was like 7 foot tall, built like, I don't know, some MMA guy, and he was walking with no shirt, and he was like very dark, very black, like the gray, blue black, not the mocha black, you know that.
Yeah.
And I was like, where'd this guy come from? Because again, I can walk to work. I'm always walking around, going for walks. I have never seen this guy ever, and he walked right by my work and past my house. And he had a kid with him about waist high. So, I don't know where this guy came from, but I'm in a very little small town up in Northern California, and this guy is brand new here in my neighborhood. So maybe I'll get to strike up a conversation with him one of these days on a walk, but I was driving at the time and was not able to stop and have a conversation. So I'd be interested in where he came from.
And are you saying he's like a vagrant, maybe, kind of? Like, are you saying shirtless and
No. He
destitute,
got
or?
his act together. I would... No, he looks like he walks with command, with authority. I wouldn't mess with him. I wouldn't even lip off to him. I'd have to be very nice and cordial. But this guy, I'm talking about, he could get on the stage and do those contests. I mean, he was yoked, but very, very dark, black. You know how there's the blue, gray, black, and then there's the dark, the more mocha, creamy brown, black?
I'm familiar with blue black. I'm familiar.
Yeah, because I used to
a lot
watch
of comedians.
I used to watch Meet of Omaha when I was real little.
What's that?
Meet of Omaha, Wild Kingdom. They would go to Africa, and the guides would be very dark.
Oh.
The Wild Kingdom, like in the 70s.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
It's like a show. It's like
Okay.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah. It was
Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
It was on TV.
This looks familiar, I gotta say.
Yeah, Meet of Omaha. I'm Merle Perkins, and he was like some white Australian guy running
That's
around
cool.
there and playing with.
I
It was
gotta say, this is
before. It was before Irwin, the guy that got stung by the stingray. It was before him.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was way before him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just thought that was interesting that this news comes out, because I don't watch the news. Your guys' show is the one that tells me all the CNN headlines. I don't really like to listen or pay attention to all that mess. But I just thought it was interesting that, So anyway, I find that interesting that now.
Am I autism moment? Are you telling me that that's like unusual in your area?
Yeah, I've never seen. Oh, there's more black.
Are there any
showing
black
up.
people in your area? And are you saying that this is like very
over the years?
This is very unique instance.
They've
and you're
increased.
Like saying what's happening? Is
Yes.
that what you're saying?
So they've increased over the years. When I take
see.
the kid to the bus stop, a few years ago there was 1, and then there was 3, and then 7, and so this year is like there's like 7 or 8.
You can count them all. You can used to be able to count them on one hand, type thing.
Yeah, now they're about half the bus, and so and maybe not half the bus or half the kids sitting there at the bus stop, but I sit there and wait in the car and until the bus comes, and then I take off after the kid gets on the bus. So I just noticed this guy was like, he could be in he was huge, like walking down with no shirt, and it's cool now. It's like, it's not like it's hot in summer. It's cold, and he was walking down the street, and I was like, what the? So I wouldn't mess with him.
It's like that's not your that's not your
average.
That's not your average black that they got to deal with. This is that.
No, because
you were that African
talking
black,
about
a whole new beast. You don't want to deal with this.
Right, kind of like.
Has your area changed noticeably? Or
just a lot of one of the neighborhood is taking over the corner. The house is all dirt. They got geese going off. They're making a lot of noise and it's kind of messy.
Geese.
I've noticed some houses have goats, and they're running around all over the place.
Wait, what the heck? Are you
lot
joking?
of.
What the heck?
I am not joking.
And this was you don't have goats. Like, you didn't see people with goats until this started happening. Like, that was not a common occurrence. Like, you're not like a countryside or something like that. And
no, this is relatively.
Like, why do you have
in the last
goats?
few years.
Was your first thought, right? Like, this is not common.
Right. I mean, I do live in a rural town, but you usually have
Okay.
to go out of the city limits to see them in big fields.
You don't
Now
know.
they're in yards, everybody's yards and back. Yeah, like that kind of thing.
That's so jarring.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is. I just, I'm not putting any meaning behind it. It's just an observation.
It makes
is
you
all.
feel
I thought
like,
it was funny
like
that-
if it's true what you tell me, like you're in sure rural, but it's like you don't have animals in this area, and suddenly you have some quite foreign people coming, and they got goats in the yard. I'd
Yes.
say it's quite jarring, I remember
Yeah,
being
I mean,
a kid.
it's better than eating.
It's not
I
a
think-
hate thing. I know
think it's
not.
better. No, it's better than
No.
eating cats and dogs.
Yeah, that's for sure. Look, it's a matter of
So anyway.
matter of your home. Like I just get it a little bit. Like I was living in Canada when and I've said this multiple times, not because it's like we need to talk about Indians or even anything like that. I grew up with so many of them, and I have some deep friendships with them, and know a lot about their culture. It's really not. It's not a hate thing. It's just a fact that Canada has changed so much. And
I remember the
I'm
first
talking
time I
about
went
the
to
city.
Winnipeg.
I'm talking about the place where I went to high school, and it's so
How
different.
close to Winnipeg are you?
Oh well, the GTA, Mississauga and all that. Maybe like an hour or two to Winnipeg.
Oh, you're an hour or two from Winnipeg. That's the only time. So when I visited my friend, I think it's Grand Forks below Winnipeg, we went up to.
Oh, Winnipeg.
for the
What the?
weekend.
Why was I thinking?
Yeah, Winnipeg.
I was thinking. What was I thinking? Winnipeg. I was thinking something else. Winnipeg
Oh.
is like far from where I grew up in Canada.
Okay. Well, I'm not familiar with the Canadian provinces that well. I'll admit that. But I didn't realize when they found out we were American, they treated us so nice and was buying me my buddy drinks, and it was funny. And then I remember going to this one club. I didn't realize how many Indians were there, but there were so many Indians. Like they had long black hair and they were dancing, and I was like, whoa! I just never thought of that. And this was in the '90s. So it was in the '90s, and it was a fun time. Our dollar went far. We got our exchange rate. And it was pretty fun. Had a really good time. Spent 2 days there in Winnipeg, and it was got to see on our way up there at night, we saw the Northern Lights like never before.
Oh,
like
cool.
3 bands in the sky. It was awesome. We were able to turn off the lights and drive on that highway going up to Winnipeg. And at the time, my buddy told me that even if you get pulled over, the fine was just $1 per mile per hour over. So we agreed to split it. So we hit the pedal to the metal, and there was nobody on the road anyway. So we got there pretty quick, but it was a really good visit, and that's the only time I went to Canada, and I really had a good time.
Winnipeg, right on, man. Manitoba, well, pretty cool, sir.
I'm going to assume that's not. Were you up above Seattle, that part of Canada, or over by
No.
New York? I mean,
New
I know there's
York,
like 5
closer
giant
to New
provinces.
York, yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much the Great
Okay.
Lakes, Toronto and the surrounding areas.
Ooh,
the
it's
GTA.
cold there, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I'm going
We
to
get
quote
snow.
Hate.
We get real winter.
Wow. All right, man. Well, I'm going to let you go. I just I thought we had a good conversation, and I
didn't
thought
really
some
catch
ground
it.
got.
So
Well, that's
I'll have to
okay.
catch
It's
it
on. I think
myself.
it's on the podcast.
But I heard
But,
the
all right,
topic
man.
and I was reminded of it. Yeah. But right on, William, call me again.
All right, man. Peace out.
844-900-2229.
The clerk is closing up and counting loonies, trying not to say, I hate Winnipeg. The driver checks the mirror 7 minutes late. The crowded rider's restlessness enunciates. The guess who sucked, the Jets were lousy anyway. The same route every day, and in the turning lane, someone stalled a game. He's talking to himself. And here's the price of gas, repeat his phrase. I hate Winnipeg.
What's wrong with Winnipeg, bro? Dude, jeez. Jeez, dude. Is this Ben Folds? No. This is the Canadian Ben Folds. The weaker thens. Ben Folds 5. When's the last time I heard of Ben Folds? Ben Folds 5. What the heck? What kind of music did he do again?
Then letters our king wrecking ball proclaim.
I hate Winnipeg. All right, but like, what did he do? What did he do to get him so mad? But what did he do to make him so mad? You know what I mean?
And I started thinking to myself, man, what did he do to make them niggas that mad?
You know what I mean? I think that to myself often. Often? Bunch of hosers. Hey, that's our word. You could say hosa. You could say hosa. A real hoser. A real hoser there, bud. Okay, one more thing and then we'll move on. Someone brought this up. We got to check the theme. We got to check the theme song. You know we got to check that theme song. It says Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom. That's deep. Oh, that's deep. I know this. That's where this is from. Add it to the list. That's deep. This goes hard. Ba, 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 ba. Whoa. Wait, no, it's National Geographic Net. This is wrong? It says Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom intro theme. Maybe they did it first. This has actually, this goes. This goes hard. Bam, bam, bam. That's deep. That's deep. That's a good intro. We're gonna add that to the list. Just add that to the archive. Okay. Definitely putting that in the list. But where were we? Where were we, folks? Hold on here. Let me get my bearings. We got a couple more topics to get into. 844-900-2229. Thank you for all the support. all those, there's a bunch of coffees. Someone came in with a whole bunch of coffees Friday after finished with the hijinks, and everybody who was so supportive, C-Bill, Spinecone, Kale, and everybody. I do appreciate all of you. Amazing. So let's see. I wanted to get into, let me just get my bearings here. Got a whole bunch of tabs. We don't need all that. Done with Trump, right? Truth Social. We saw this. Now, you know, I think, I gotta say, I'm sorry, apologies. I'm still a little unsure what my caller was saying about the numbers. I think he's referring to Trump's Truth Social. Christianity, right? About Nigeria. When Christians, this is the sentence. We're trying to follow the sentence structure. When Christians, comma, or any such group, comma, is slaughtered like is happening in Nigeria, and in parentheses, 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide, something must be done. I mean, the only thing I can gather, the only information I'm getting from that is, it sounds like he's describing Christian slaughters in Nigeria versus worldwide. And I don't know if the worldwide number includes Nigeria. If so, the vast majority of Christian slaughters are happening in Nigeria. Which would kind of make it an interesting thing to tackle for America, if they so choose, if Trump so chooses. Nigeria's a little far, but you heard from the Nigerian leadership that, hey, hey, the Christian thing, we'll figure that out, sort of. They kind of deny it, but they'll work with the president. They'll do what he says. And you know why I know? Because they're saying, hey, whatever intelligence you need, Mr. President, we're willing to share intelligence. Hey, maybe we need intelligence from Nigeria, in Nigeria. I don't know. Like I said, it's a little far. It's got an ocean between us. But hey, if the Mr. President sees the need for it, then so be it. Right? American interests. Expand our sphere. Expand our global... Wait, sorry. I'm starting to act like John Bolton or something. Let me leave it up to the president here. Okay? Just call me a war hawk. Okay. But anyways, Nigeria. What else do I know about Nigeria? Actually, there's some African languages. I've never really met anybody in VR chat. Like, let me think. I've definitely met South Africans in VR chat. But I can't say I've met too much else. No languages I can remember. That I can remember off the top. But anyways, that's Nigeria. Moving on from that, let me close all this. Paul praying in tongues. We're done with the barbs. The dogs are made of clay. Okay, that's strange Google. Oh yes, and the big house. Welcome to the big house. These people are well fed in America. Okay. Now I saved this. It's not that interesting. Does it seem like it just seems like a little sick. Charlie Kirk. Are they just using that name forever? And I saw Erica getting some negative attention. Okay. Has she gotten plenty of it? I don't know. Is that just in our circles? Whenever I see criticism of Erica Kirk online, there's people saying, well, how could you, man? She's a grieving blah, blah, blah. Whatever. She's Is Igbo Nigerian? Yes, Igbo is Nigerian. No, Hake. I don't think so, because I tried speaking Igbo, and she was like, what's Igbo? That's like Nigerian. So I don't think she's Nigerian. Responding to the chat. Sorry. Where was I? Charlie Kirk. So Erica was getting some negative attention. And I don't know if it's that common. I know you've heard it here. We wish her well and all that, but we're like, come on, it's a little phony. And these tears, she's like placing herself as the head, right? The CEO of this. It was all just strange, folks. It stunk for me. It stunk. And now she's getting some negative attention over some thing with JD. And I'd say, you know what's funny about it to me? There was a lot of ladies. There was a lot of ladies kind of defending Erica Kirk. Like, whoa, what's the big idea? She's a grieving widow. Leave her alone. But then she said she was, as someone put it, gushing over JD Vance. Okay? And let me just where was it? Now, was it that deep and that bad and evil? Like, I don't know. You could characterize it however you want, really. You could really say that it's not. You can really say that this wasn't that deep. She's really doing like a political thing. That's how I see it. See, she's running TPUSA now, and they got to stand behind JD. And the TPUSA, for better or for worse, was basically like what? Republican, conservative, like I know they debated, so I bet you they're better than your CNN and all that. But that's what it's just like, not a mouthpiece, but they were not propaganda, but establishment conservative. I think sincere, because that's how Charlie Kirk was. I think that's sincere. But that's what they were. Just kind of running, just kind of like support the GOP, support Republicans, support Republican candidates, support JD Vance. And part of that, well, if you're running it and you're the widow of this person that they made into a hero, immortalized Charlie Kirk, and you say, guess what? I'm the wife and I was married to this guy you guys love, and guess what? JD's kind of like him. Like, I see it as political. Did she maybe even kind of mean it? Sure. So that's why it's so weird. That's why it comes off so weird, because she's taken on this role, not as a widow, not as a wife. I mean, I know he's dead, but she has. That's why maybe it feels so weird for us, because we could see like the jamming of the circle peg into the skull. Now, if you put on the mindset of, well, I'm the TPUSA CEO, we're trying to win elections, the Republicans, you see it with that mindset, it makes sense. It's strategic. But for everybody else, was somebody trying to chat with me in the Discord? You can jump on in and say hello. It's totally unmuted. Oh, host connection lost. Hold on. 844-900-2229. Lines are open.
You are connected.
Had a little glitch there with the phones. So if you see it from that lens, it's strategic. It makes sense. TPUSA and all that. But that's also the very reason why it looks weird.
Of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance. I do.
I really see.
And that's why I'm so blessed to be able to introduce him tonight, because
it's so weird.
He understands the fight that we're up against, and he can articulate that in a way that transcends.
Dude, it's just so funny. So this is how I see it. Like, it's just those two views of strategic versus like who she is right there. Like, oh, she's a widow. That kind of makes more sense. Now, some people are taking it like, whoa, they're having a weird relationship in the background. And like why would you even, like, you could think such things. I mean, honestly, why would you even think such things? Like, there's just no evidence for that. That's just, come on. From this picture, by the way, that's where they're getting it from. Yeah, and her comments, whatever. Like, that's just, you shouldn't even think such things. Now, we could joke around. Who says JD can't have 2 wives? Okay. Who says JD can't have 2 wives? Okay, maybe.
No one will ever replace.
But to seriously sit around and think that from this picture, that's not a sound mind. I have to say that. Okay. That being said, I think she has the total wrong energy, folks. I don't know what it is. It's just from the get-go. She's like, let me be the CEO. It's just the wrong energy from the get-go. Like, trying to run things. It's just so weird. And phony. It's so phony. Taking pictures with his dead body on the gram. Now, the ladies were defending Erica when I would say that, or even just in general, to some of those comments. But this latest gushing over JD, where did I see it? Because I saw other women saying this too. And it was funny that this kind of turned someone like, hey, like something inside of them, they know naturally that's how you're supposed to talk about your husband, not some other man, especially another married man. And so some women I've noticed, and I saw this online too. Where was it? Look, right here. Rupa Murthy. No one will ever replace Charlie, but I do see some similarities of my husband and JD. These words seem out of place, much like her leather pants, I guess. I think she's just... I think she has like this outdated wardrobe kind of thing. Maybe she's like like some kind of millennial thing. I heard it described like that. I thought it was pretty good. Just like a millennial with Republican makeup. Big hair and Republican makeup. You're a firebrand Republican, just like Charlie. And it's always the same look, so. But, you know, it's funny that this was the one that kind of got the women also saying, hey, Erica, why are you acting funny? Some part of them knows, naturally maybe even, that is not how you speak about someone that's not your husband. But she's got to fill the pants of a man now, so she's got to act all sorts of funny. We got to support JD, and I'm a woman, and it's like, so of course it's got to look like this. I'm a woman, so how do I support JD? Oh, I say that I would make it sound like I would marry him, but obviously I'm not. It's like they can't even think these things through. They're really riding on that. Well, Erica will take the reins, and she's the wife, and somehow can carry it on. I don't know. Is it hitting? Here's my power level reading, kind of with like the blacks and EBT day. TPUSA power level on the downhill. I don't think, yeah. It's just how it is. I'm sensing ever lower power levels from over there. Okay. That was what they were saying with JD and Erica, though. Will they use Kirk's name forever? You know? Like, this senator needs to... He tweeted in 2024 that we need overwhelming turnout. Make a plan, stay in line, get it done. Right? And that's why New Jersey, here today, 2025, we need to get out and vote, right? Do it for Charlie. This one's, and all future votes for Charlie. I am Charlie Kirk. I voted. Do it for Charlie. Charlie would have wanted you to vote this way. Right? Do it for Charlie. This is amazing. I forgot Trump shared this. I love that. I love that he shared this. Great. The great Charlie Kirk. It's sick. I don't know, just me. Is it just me? You could have gotten literally any other guy, any other man. You had all sorts of acolytes or whatever. You could have gotten anybody to lead these young men. But that's enough about that, right? Now we're getting into Charlie Kirk. We've talked about that. But here's something that was funny. Look, kind of thematic. I mean, what? Some of this kind of, as the show has gone on today, I'm gathering this is somewhat thematic. I'm not remembering. But am I broken? Is something broken inside of me? Because, look, I'm just perusing the news. Okay? It's just the news. It's just headlines. At least it's supposed to be. The New York Times. I'm scrolling and perusing. I come across a little article. It says, a thrilling finish to the New York City Marathon as Kenyans dominate elite races. It was a record-setting day as more than 50,000 athletes packed the streets for the 2025 New York City Marathon. Right? It's just supposed to be a headline. I'm like, ding. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, what? A thrilling finish to NYC Marathon as Kenyans dominate elite races. You know, it could have been anybody, right? It could have been any ethnic group. It could have been anybody, right?
Those look like Benson Kipruto has got enough room on him.
I don't know. There's still a little bit left here. Look at Matiso. He's coming. He's coming for it. Oh,
they
my
are
goodness.
in an all-out sprint. Kipruto. Matuso, can he hold him off?
You gotta be kidding me.
Goodness, at the line. Benson Kipruto.
It could have been anybody, right? It's just New York Times. It's just a headline, Nick. Now it's about race. They did it first, right? It wasn't me. As Kenyans dominate elite races, if you're something you don't know about me, maybe I celebrate our cultural and racial differences. I love them all. I celebrate them.
Distance, and it looks like he covers the field.
And maybe it's something about these Kenyans. No, these are Kenyans. Known runners, by the way. Kenyans, known running people. Long distance. By the way, they're not the only ones. This is a thing. Are you familiar with the Tarahumara? Tarahumara. I learned about these indigenous Mexicans. They're basically like a running tribe. They're like mountain people. And part of their culture and way of living and way of life and survival had to do with covering large distances, essentially, to summarize.
Really feel an ancient.
But the funny thing about these people is that they're also, I remember I was reading some descriptions. It's also their body. These people are like a little longer and taller. That's how I heard them described. I could be wrong. But isn't that interesting? Like, these are the runner, the Tarahumara, indigenous running tribe, born to run.
They actually prefer their indigenous name of Raramuri.
Okay.
Raramuri means light-footed, and that's an apt name to describe who they are. They are lightning fast on their feet. Obviously, as runners, they can cover long distances and are super fast, but they're also literally light-footed in their strike. They land on their forefoot and midfoot and glide across the trails. The Tarahumara are naturally healthy people, and primarily it's because of their diet.
Dude, this guy met the Tarahumara, and he got one-shotted by them. He's like, I love running. That's so holistic. And that's like the answer to my life. Yes. This guy got one-shotted by Tarahumara people.
And their lifestyle. They don't have cancer.
I'm judging him. I heard him talk for 2 seconds.
Diabetes, hypertension, because they don't live sedentary lifestyles. They walk and run everywhere. They don't have vehicles. They don't sit very often. They are on their feet, moving or working in their fields every day. That's why they don't have to train for ultramarathons, because every day is a training session. So they're natural weightlifters and natural endurance athletes just by the way they live their life. And they also eat a healthy, nutritious diet that they grow and prepare themselves. So those are the cornerstones of health. It's not pharmaceuticals, it's not medicines, it's not health.
That is pretty cool.
It's, you know, it's diet and exercise.
Shout out.
They're simple lifestyles and their simple diets have worked for them for centuries.
So, running people's, it's just interesting, okay? The cultures of the world, okay? Look, it's cool. One-shotted means you've changed like your whole life, like you, something that you can't handle. You know, it's like it one shots your HP bar. In one shot you get one-shotted, but you know, it doesn't necessarily mean you're dead. Although some people's minds get one-shotted. But I kind of like them. A critical hit, so to speak. So, just the cultures of the world. Okay, they're runners, and they're different, and I like them. I like our differences. I celebrate them. That was just a little funny thing. Enough about that, though, folks. I got to go a little early today. I must leave here in a minute or so. So I must say goodbye. I appreciate all the support, though. The continued super chats and coffees. Very nice. What was I going to say last? There's something scary about long distance running. Like, that would be a good, like, thriller or horror thing. Or even just thinking about it. Like, if you were, like, these indigenous people and you were, like, the non-runner tribe, the non-long distance tribe, and you're in battle, you're in, like, some sort of, not battle necessarily, but you're being tracked by the runner tribe. You're like, oh, crap, we can't let them catch up. You see them off in the distance. They're like meerkats. They catch onto you. They see you. You're like, we got to go this way. Just keep going. Don't stop. You're tired. You're like, let's set up camp. You look on the distance, and there they are again. They're going to catch up eventually. Anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed a little streaming today. I'll be back tomorrow for more American Anchor, baby, as we do. For now, I must go. See you tomorrow. Take care. Appreciate all the support. Peace.